When you think back to the moment you realized your son needed some more support, what stands out most for you now?
The sense of hopelessness. It was scary and frustrating, and really I experienced feelings of being out of control. So the anxiety that came with it, and just truly the fear, and knowing that I had already tried to help, and what I tried to do was of no good.
What helped you feel confident placing your son in the care of Align, and how did that decision feel as a parent?
Well, we had spoken over the phone with Align, and I immediately felt comfortable and confident in the environment that they were creating there. They also came recommended, which helps somebody like me because I like recommendations. But truly, it was the sense of community and caring environment that helped me to be at ease.
How would you describe your first impressions of the staff and the treatment environment once your son was admitted?
Describe? I felt as if we had found another family. When we drove there and arrived, the welcoming was sincere, and I could tell the level of care from the entire staff. And while it still wasn't easy departing from him, because everybody was so kind, and by the way, also like aware of him. You know, they all knew his backstory. They knew why he was there. They knew his name clearly and all that kind of stuff. That all makes a big difference. And I felt comfortable because people seem to not only know what they're doing, but care about him.
What changes did you begin to notice in your son during their time at Align?
I think the first thing I observed was a willingness, an increased willingness to engage with us, his folks. We really had been public enemy number one for a really long time. And John started to willingly and actively engage with us. Like, he wasn't simply showing up for family therapy. He was there by will, and that was a dramatic change.
How did Align support you and your family while your child was doing the hard work of healing?
Well, like I just mentioned, there's family therapy, and we were pleased with our therapist. She seemed to understand John pretty well and had a wonderful way of kind of telling me that I had work to do without necessarily clobbering me over the head with it. Of equal or greater value were the parent weekends. We went to 3 separate workshop weekend-long events that were intense and challenging and demanding, and also tremendous fun. And once again, as I mentioned earlier, the sense of community, that we weren't alone. Align communicated that very clearly to me.
Was there a particular moment when you realized your child was truly beginning to find their footing again?
When I saw John during one of these parent weekends with the horses, I was blown away. He showed love for the horse in particular that he was working with, but I also observed that he knew all of their names and how to walk with each one and care for them, and to see him nurturing another living being was a dramatic change.
How has your family's relationship shifted since your child completed the program?
I believe we communicate a bit better, maybe even a lot better. And I think also we can communicate things that might be a bit unpleasant in a respectful way where people realize like you're not just looking for an argument, you're just being yourself. So I feel we've actually come together a little bit more as a family.
What would you say to another parent who is scared, overwhelmed, or unsure about sending their child to treatment?
The first thing I would say is that I hear you. I was too. And how would you not be? It's completely understandable to be concerned, nervous. What I will say, however, is that based on our experience and a number of other families that we know, the program is dynamite. And your son will be in good hands, and I think you will be pleased with progress and the dynamic that they create for your family.
Looking back, what do you feel Align gave your child that made the biggest difference in their life today?
A sense of purpose. So John is a certified personal trainer, and he has his own little gig going, and the love for the fitness lifestyle, working at the gym, discipline, that all came from his time at Align.
As you reflect on your journey as a family, what are you most proud of and what gives you hope for the future?
I am proud that we were able to provide the level of treatment that we could. I'm proud that the relationship that the family has to one another seems a little bit more open to me. I think as an individual, and probably the whole family actually, I think we're all more welcoming and in a greater place of acceptance.